Something that I haven't really shared with you guys is my personal struggle with video game addiction. It was something that I felt and had dealt with in my early teens, all throughout my early 20s, and I struggled to find purpose in life because I was plainly addicted to video games and the easy, cheap dopamine rush that it gave me. It was a coping mechanism. It was something to get my mind off of dealing with the real world. I still remember spending night after night, hours after hours, right after school, throwing off my backpack and running upstairs to my then PC and playing MapleStory, trying to level up, playing RuneScape, trying to cut more yew trees, and playing Warcraft 3, playing Undead Assault 2, late into the night, disregarding my homework and projects at school. And generally, I was trying to chase this next level. I was chasing a quest, and my life was in shambles. I didn't even eat dinner. I didn't even go to the gym. I didn't even socialize with friends, and I gave a lot of things up just to play video games. Somehow these video games were cooler than real life. I got to accomplish actual missions. I got to play with other people. I got to compete. I got to acquire more resources, and I got to even attain a high level in these games. And I was accomplishing quests. I was basically using these games as a coping mechanism. I was using these games to replace actual accomplishment in real life. In the meanwhile, my grades were suffering. I still remember in high school, I basically was at the bottom of my class, and I was realizing that I would rather do something simple rather than actually studying hard, because studying hard meant I actually had to put in that work. I had to put in the hours and put out real effort instead of just clicking on things and doing it in a repetitive fashion, almost like a little rat in a rat wheel for a little bit of a dopamine rush when I actually accomplished a little side quest in one of these games like RuneScape. And I came to a point where I was just basically doing that day in and day out, and my parents were fed up. My friends saw me disappear from after school and didn't even participate in extracurriculars. I was not doing well in class. I was not participating. I was just thinking about video games and how to join the next quest or join the next party in order to accomplish something that basically I felt now is meaningless, because what did I get to accomplish after playing thousands and thousands of hours of these games? Like, do I have anything to prove? I mean, I would say I did enjoy playing some of the games and like interacting with some of the players online, but I think it was a cheap replacement for the actual real thing, going out and facing rejection, facing my fears, and overcoming social anxiety. Basically, I stunted myself throughout high school and early college because I was so focused on video games. And I remember one night I was still playing RuneScape and I was just cutting down yew trees. Basically, you try to gather as many trees, which are resources in game, in order to trade it for something else. You can sell it. And I remember I was trying to level up in my tree cutting skill, and instead of actually doing homework, I spent hours and hours throughout the night just clicking on a mouse, cutting down trees so that I can amass this tree and sell it for fake online money. And I looked at the clock and it was 2 a.m. and I realized that was probably one of the points where I felt like I hit rock bottom, and I felt like I actually didn't know what the hell I was doing in life, and that I was lost. I was simply lost and directionless and purposeless, because what the hell was I doing at 2 a.m. cutting down yew trees in a fake online game? And here I was wasting years and years of time at school, not really learning anything, because my mind was so jumbled with all of these other fake online quests that I was trying to accomplish on the side, when my grades in math, my grades in science, and every other class in high school and early college was just going to waste, because it was going in one ear and going out the other. I didn't even participate in a lot of extracurriculars. I didn't really focus on my purpose, whatever that was. I just didn't know what that was, and I felt like I was using video games as a crutch, as something to fill the void, because I was just plain bored. I didn't know what the hell I was doing in life. I guess in a sense, I was trying to figure out my identity in the world. I was trying to figure out who I was as a teenager, but it was one of those struggles where I thought everyone else was doing. Like, a lot of my friends were playing video games and they were talking about the same thing, and maybe it was sort of like a crabs in the same bucket and just pulling each other down, because everyone was doing it, at least in my little small bubble. And I guess even when I was a lot younger, I made one spark epiphany, or like a bright idea, was that I was like, man, I was cutting down these trees. I was trying to attain the next level 73 and cutting skills, right, on RuneScape. I was like, why don't I actually apply that and try to level up in real life? Why not try to level up myself? Why not try and go out and learn real world skills? Like actually wood cutting, maybe actually going out fishing, or learning new sports, or learning new hobbies and new interests and new passions, and actually doing the real thing in real life. And that sort of like dawned on me, and maybe it was a light switch, or maybe I was just playing dumb. I was like, wow, like I can actually do this in real life. I can go out and accomplish real things and accomplish real quests, and not actually have to do it through a computer screen. That was life-changing. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and you're getting some value out of it, please, if you can just click the like button and actually subscribe, that would be really helpful, because it helps the YouTube algorithm actually show my content to more people. As always, thank you for watching. I would say that my addiction to video game and my struggle fluctuated. I was flip-flopping in my young career academically, and I didn't even know what I was majoring in. I didn't know what my real passions were. And on occasions, besides drinking and partying and doing a little bit of studying, I was playing video games. I was playing League of Legends at the time, Dota, if some of you guys remember. And I was floundering. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And then it sort of hit me that I gave up a chance to join and do something that I always wanted to do, which was join the military. I quit that when I was in my earlier age, when I was going to join the United States Military Academy, but I basically gave up on the process halfway because I was just too consumed with my own my fears of actually doing something, accomplishing something of success, of actual noteworthiness. And I gave that up because I didn't really have a sense of the direction. But it wasn't until I thought, hey, I don't want to live with regret anymore. I didn't want to say I quit in something and I didn't actually challenge myself to reach at least somewhat of my actual potential in life. And so I went back and I went ahead and joined the Marine Corps, not because of some higher worthy ideal, but because I wanted to actually be one of the best version of myself somehow. And I didn't really know it at the time what that meant, but I knew that I needed a kick in the butt, and the Marine Corps was going to do that for me. With addiction, with my own struggle with video games, I think there is sometimes a loss of direction. You're lacking purpose, you're not sure what to do with your life, and you're looking for something that is a cheap dopamine rush where you can feel a little bit happier because you can spend some time with people that you don't know, and you can say anything, and you can be a character, or you can accomplish small menial quests in these games and sort of have some, at least feel a little bit of proud, I guess, of something that you accomplished in a fake online game. But it's a coping mechanism that I sort of realized later on. And after self-reflection, it was like, hey, instead of actually climbing a real metaphorical mountain, I was doing it in an online video game. And for me, the only way that I beat my video game addiction to this day was because I joined the Marine Corps. And for me, the Marine Corps was that metaphorical mountain that I was gonna climb in real life in order to accomplish anything real and substantial in my own life. And that helped me realize that, hey, there was more to my own journey and my own path than video games. And once I started that journey, I was training. I felt like I had a sense of community. I went out and pursued actual accomplishments, whether that was like physical fitness, whether that was to join more extracurricular activities in order to put myself in a leadership position and to get my grades up. All of these things amounted because I actually had a goal in mind, that I was actually disciplining myself because of a specific purpose, not because of someone's telling me that, hey, you need to be more productive just for the sake of being productive, but having an actual aim, having an actual target really helped me beat my video game addiction. So if you're struggling with video game addiction or any other type of addiction, like shopping, like porn, whether that's consumerism, whether that is drugs or alcohol or sex. All these addictions are basically your body and your mind telling you that something is wrong and that you want something more out of life than just whatever that addiction is. And it's so easy to get trapped and wrapped up in these addictions because they give us a very easy dopamine rush. They give us this real strong sense of momentary happiness that is fleeting, that isn't a replacement for actual engagement in real life, actually accomplishing something, and something that you can be proud of and one day be able to tell someone, hey, I actually accomplished that. That was actually awesome, you know? But the way to knock yourself out of that is to find your own purpose, whether that is as simple as going to the gym every single day, or whether that is something small like helping out other people or volunteering or going out into your community and being a source of positivity. I went through this video game addiction and I felt like I wasted years of my life and I didn't even have any real goals in mind. And if I could take that back, I would in an instant, but I can't. But the next best thing for me is just to move forward and to learn from my mistakes and really to just avoid RuneScape and League of Legends and all these games, because for me there is like this trigger. When if I actually saw a video of myself playing these games for hours on end, I would be basically a zombie staring at my computer, clicking on buttons and cutting down in-game pixelated trees in order to acquire pixelated resources so that I can acquire pixelated money. I guess my question to myself was, why not do that in real life? What do you think? If you know someone that is struggling with video game addiction or addictions in general, please make sure to share this video with them if you think they'll gain some value out of it.